my, how are you all? Well, I am absolutely thrilled and delighted that I, Nikki Richards of Nikki Nags Paper Crafts, have been asked to be a guest designer for UK Scrap Addicts for the month of May. And I've been given one of my favourite things to do. My theme is a little bit of fussy cutting. So what I've done, I found the photo I wanted to scrapbook, and there's me on my graduation day many moons ago with my mum and dad. And I've gone through my papers and I've made myself up a little bit of a kit. As you can see, this paper here is just crying out to be fussy cut. Look, oh, it's just, oh. I mean, I don't think I'd be saying that so much when I come to these little tiny leaves. I might have to use a little bit of poetic license on those. So these papers are Bliss by my mind's eye. And they are they are double-sided, but I love this little shiny gold. Then you've got this one, and I'm loving these big flowers as well. And that's the back of that one. This one here, I'm going to use this for the foundation of my page. I love this one as well, and I think I'm going to back my photo on that. And I think you can see how it's catching the light there, and that's the back there. I've also found this Kaiser Craft die cut page where I've used some of them, and I'm fancying using some of the butterflies. And also, every moment is special with the people you love most. This is especially poignant since I've lost my dad a few years ago, so I'm going to be using that. I've cut out a cut file off using my silhouette, and I'm actually thinking of using some of my gilding flakes. Now, I've had to crawl under my desk. My craft room is in the loft, and I've got lots of storage under my desk, so it was a jolly sight to see my bottom disappearing underneath my desk to try to find the box of gilding flakes. And I haven't used them as much as I should, but I'm thinking of having some gold accents on here. I'm going to use this a bit like a wreath, and I'm going to fussy cut the flowers and stick them on there. I've got a gold alphabet, and I also found this Pink Fresh Studios, and I'm fancying this frame here because it goes lovely with the colours. And I love this. Live for the moments you can't put into words. I love that as well. What I like about making my own page kits is your stash is your limit, really. Whatever you've got in your stash that you can use. Now, I know that I had the embellishment kit to go with the Mind's Eye papers. So that's from there. And I've got all these other little bits and pieces then that match. I've also got a lovely acrylic shape from Bramble Fox. There it is, saying celebrate. And I've got lots of gold and the corally colour there. And I've also got, I love this one as well. I think that might have been out of a Maggie Holmes set at some point. And these, I must be honest, I always struggle a little bit with safety pins on a layout. So we'll see whether I manage to use those. So, with the fussy cutting, I shall show you, I tend to use a really sharp little dinky scissors. This one is actually from Stampin' Up. I'm left-handed, but I can't use the scissors in my left hand. So I probably look a little bit awkward cutting out. So I'm going to try and cut out the big clusters. And then I'm going to use them then to arrange them around my wreath shape. Even these ones I'm going to cut out because then I could layer things up on the side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get busy cutting, and I shall see you soon. So at least with the magic of television, you didn't have to watch me painstakingly cut these out. Actually, they weren't as difficult as I first thought, but I have got a little bit of a dent in my finger now from my scissors. So I put those to one side, and I'm going to see if I can remember how to use gilding flakes. Now, I know that the one thing I must remember to do is not sneeze, open a window, put put a fan on, which I'm unlikely to do, or even breathe that heavily, because they have a mind of their own. There we are. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue on the side. I'm going to bring in a little bit of scrap paper as well. They're wonderful things to use, but you can find them in your craft room for about the next 3 years. So I'm not going to do the whole thing. I'm just, as you can see, I'm just dabbing the glue on. I just want to give it a little bit of a hint of gold. I'm going to do the same thing then around the circle. I'm going to add a little bit more glue. This is mixed media glue, and I must be honest, it came in the kit that I had, so I'm not an expert by any means with these. They're one of these things that I went through a stage of having to have all the colours and then not using very much. So I'm trying to use my items this year. That's what I'm attempting to do. Now, as you can see, there's little bits of foil on there. That's fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do is lay it down, and very, very carefully I'm going to attempt to use these little sheets. Can you see? Yeah, all on me. And I'm just going to lay it down where I've added the glue. You can get these gilding flakes in all kinds of colours. And I must be honest, I've used them on cards a lot. And I say a lot. A few times. But I've never actually used it in my scrapbooking. I'm looking at the state of my fingers. I can probably see why. There we are. So you just lay it down where you've added the glue. And I'm just giving it a gentle rub in. There we are. Look at the state of my fingers. Now obviously all the little tiny bits, you've got to try and get them back in that pot. It's a bit like, can you remember, well, I can as a child, used to have a joke pot of like food, or peanuts or something. You'd go to offer somebody and like a snake would fly out. That's pretty much what these are like to work with. So then just gently give it a rub with your finger first. Like this. And then you sort of just rub them in gently. And then you can keep all the other little bits that go flying about your craft room. If you can try to tame them and get them back in the pot. I had a feeling I might have accidentally stuck it down. Right, so there it is now. And what I'm going to do now, before I do any more damage with these, I'm going to put the lid on. And then there we go, so they all escape. I'm going to drop that on the floor under my desk. And then with this, I'm just going to give with a not too stiff brush. I'm just going to sort of give it a bit of a rub. There we go. Right, so I don't know if you can catch it that well on the camera, but it's just giving it a bit of, just make sure it's all off there. And can you see the state of my desk? So, I practically had to have a professional cleaning team in to clear my desk of Gilded Flakes, but that's all ready now. And while I was cleaning, I also mounted my photo on the heart paper there. How lovely is that? That is just stunning. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to just add a little tiny bit of glue, and I'm going to stick my die cut down, and then I'm going to start assembling my page. Glue never runs when you want it to run, doesn't it? Here we go. I'm just going to put that down centrally now. And what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to put the majority of the floral pieces on this side. I've also made a little tiny embellishment cluster using a safety pin. And what I've done, I've stapled those two little flag pieces together with the banner piece on top, and I've just washi taped it down then, because I must be honest, I do struggle to use, as I say, I struggle to use safety pins in scrapbooking. But I've made this little embellishment to hide these random people in the background. Poor souls. They've now been deleted from my photo. And I'm using this little tag which says, love these little moments. I'm going to stick that to the back of my photo here, because, as I say, I'm going to put this there. Look at that. Perfect placement. These people are no more in my photo. And then I've got this other little one with just little hearts, and I'm going to stick that just peeking out as well as an extra layer, like that. There it is. And what I'm going to do now, just to make sure, yeah, I want the hat to show, otherwise people might not realise what it is. So I am actually going to stick this down flat, because I'm going to raise my flowers up like that. I'm going to stick this one down as well. Like that there. And I think on there I'm going to put, you find that little phrase I like, live the moment you can't put into words. I'm going to make sure I have that ready, because otherwise I'll forget it. Okay, so with these I'm going to use some foam pads. I have got foam tape somewhere, but must be honest, I have no idea where it's gone. Need a big search for that. There we go. So I'm just going to put these then like this around the photo. I must be honest, when papers have such big floral pieces on them, I always struggle what to do with them if I don't fussy cut them. So it does, as I say, they were nice and easy to cut out as well. There we are. So I'm just going to use 3 of them, because odd numbers do look better. And I'm just going to use one then up here. But I want the tag just to pop over the top of it slightly. There we go. I've even cut some of the little leaf clusters out to use those. Oops, there we go. Put that up by there then. Up by there. Sorry, that's a very Welsh thing to say. And I'm going to use my little leaves now and bring those in. And I've also found some of these other gold pieces. I'm going to use those in there as well. I always remind my husband that this was the graduation he didn't come to because he went on holidays with the boys, which made me have to do my masters then so he can come to another graduation years later. There we go. Right, I think that I was going to bring this in, but I also want to use every moment is special with the people you love most. So I think I might put that down here. I'm going to use the circles to try and get me to stick it down straight. I haven't always got a very straight eye, I must be honest. And I'm going to put this... I've lost the banner shape now, but I think the sentiment is more important. So there it is. And I'm going to... I don't know just what to do to finish it off now. I don't know whether to put celebrate. I don't think it matches what I wanted to say, if that makes sense to you. I'm going to put just, this says moments. I'm going to put that down by here. I might use perfect moments, or cherish. Now, as you can see, I've mixed quite a few different sort of products in here. I think as I've been scrapbooking longer, I have become braver at doing that, whereas before I used to have to think that everything had to be from the same sort of collection. Just wondering whether to add that little tiny lace piece just under there. And just going to bring in this XOXO. I'm going to put that up on the flowers up there. So there we go. I'm going to call it a day now before I carry on adding so much to it. I never fit it in a page protector. So I have used my Mind's Eye paper goods and is Bliss. And that's what I've used for the backing paper, and I've cut these big embellishments out. These embellishments then were from my scrapbook collection, just from my ephemera packs. I used a silhouette die cut. This is from the Kaiser Craft piece, and this is Pink Fresh Studios. So as you can see, is a real mishmash of products and paper lines, and I've used some golden sands. This is Honeydew Crafts, some gilding flakes, and as you can see, I've barely made a dent in it, so perhaps I will sneeze the next time, and then I might empty the pot a bit more. As I say, thank you so much for joining me. It's a real honour to be asked to be design member for UK Scrap Addicts, because there's such a wealth of talent on there. I wish you all the very best. Take care, Hwyl fawr, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for joining Nikki from Nikki Nags Paper Crafts. Take care. Bye.